So today I will be working on my March challenge tag. I will also show a lineup of all the pictures you sent my way, and I will give you the April challenge. So here I have different clothes tags, I have craft tags, and I made piles coordinated by colors of craft paper and washi and string or ribbon. And I have teal, yellow, red, black and white, and brown. And from here on, I will only add mediums, and those will be in the captions. So enjoy, and I will talk to you in just a wee bit. So here's my completed tag one more time. It has a nice clean back, also in brown. Everything is kind of in brown tones. And yes, it opens. It has a couple of flaps. I was inspired to do that by those double tags I had in my stash. And washi kind of decorates those little flaps and of course all the circles, and I like the way it feels and the way it looks when it opens up. And of course those tags give me the idea to use two more skinny ones for little inserts, as I left those first tags unglued for pockets. So here it is, pretty simple. You saw me put it together. Nothing super fancy, but of course I couldn't stop with one tag and decided to make a few more, and for those I used some of my sturdy clothes tags I had pulled out earlier. I had three same size and type, so I made one in yellow, and as you can see I used different strips of different type of craft papers. I also lined it in the back. I used some yellow washi and I did some stenciling on it. And at the very end added some glitter all over just for a little extra shine. And next I worked on a red one, again starting with craft paper. I added a simple drawing of flowers. I colored them with white and red paint. I added washi and a piece from the ribbon, which I also used on the top here together with a red one. On the back, craft paper again and more washi, and then I covered it with triple gloss, and that gave it this really nice shine and a great feel. And for the third tag I used teal, again starting with craft paper. I also added some texture paste, so here and there I then drew those dangles, and the little teardrops at the end have glossy accent in it. I also colored with some metallic teal paints, so this one has nice texture everywhere, and it has a teal ribbon on the top, washi in the back, and some more black and teal craft paper. So these are my three colorful tags and my little bit bigger brown tag. But now on to all of your wonderful creations. Here's a lineup of all the pictures I received. Enjoy. So as you could see, many people participated in the March challenge, and I want to give a big thank you to each one of you. You all did a wonderful job, and it was really fun to see all those pics come into my email. So now on to the challenge for April. We have the whole month of April to work on it, and as I announced in one of my previous videos, it will be an assemblage. Now don't get scared. I know some of you were very much looking forward to this challenge. Others others were a little bit hesitant or maybe never done an assemblage before. But it is a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun to work with 3D elements and create something that is really very textural. It doesn't have to have a specific theme. It doesn't have to go anywhere as such. It's mainly to create a 3D piece of art and to give it your personal touch, either with colors or the way you put your findings together with an interesting focal point and so on. So I will try to show you some things you could use, but of course there's absolutely no limit because assemblages are made out of findings, things you have around your house, even art supplies which maybe you haven't used in forever and would complement your piece. You can add photos, you can add texture by using fibers, you name it. So I'm just going to show you a few things. This is absolutely not the only thing you can use, but like with all of our challenges, I will break it down into 4 categories, as this is a 4-core challenge. So first of all, the substrate. To start with, for our first assemblage challenge, I was thinking we go with a flat surface. That means we are not going to alter a thing, like alter, let's say, a telephone or alter an instrument or something like that, but rather create it on a more flat surface. So for that, you can either use very simply some lids of some boxes, because it is nice to have a little rim. It's not absolutely necessary, but it just makes it a better look because it contains everything and makes it more cohesive or more complete, let's say that. You could also use canvas and just turn it around. That way you get the little edge. Now, if you have a frame of any shape or size you don't need anymore, you can definitely take the picture out, take the glass out, add a piece of cardboard and just work with that. You can decorate the frame as well and make it all you know, one. Or if you have something like a tray, you know, I often worked with these kids trays. You may find something like this which has a divider, 1 or 2 or many like this one. That would work. Now, if you like to work with dividers like this but don't have anything handy like this, you can definitely use small boxes and make your own. So those are some ideas for substrates, and if you have anything else along those lines, that will work for sure. Next, second, findings. Now findings, it depends so much what you have in your household or what you might have collected in the meantime, because I did give you a forewarning. Now, many of you know that I find a lot of my bits and pieces in thrift stores, but I also collect things around the house whenever I see something that has an interesting shape or texture. So this is full of little doodads, many little kids' toys. There are some game markers, dominoes, dice. There are some puzzle pieces, and so on. Special construction toys have some interesting pieces which are great in assemblages. So that's one thing. Another thing, of course, is buttons. Any kind of buttons. I won't take them out of here. Any kind of bling will work. Any kind of beads you can add, especially to fill in small spaces. And of course, if you have broken jewelry or anything interesting like this, maybe you have chains, maybe you have keys, anything like that will add to your look. Now you can also use stuff from the handyman compartment, like if you have screws or nuts or little tools, those all work really well. And as I mentioned earlier, you can always add some fibers. Maybe you have some lace or some dimensional ribbons. Whatever you might have can be added to your assemblage for just that extra look. So that would be number 2. So first the substrate, then all your findings, and as I mentioned earlier, there are many more things you can use. You can use artificial flowers, you can use things from the outdoors, stones, rocks, branches, leaves, whatever you like. So these are just some ideas. Now for the third point, I would like you to use either black or white gesso. Now if you don't have gesso, you can use black or white paint. Now this should just be the background color. or the color you start with, where you can cover some of your elements. And then of course you can add, like always, any colors, paints, sprays, inks you want to give your piece that special look. Now using gesso really helps to unify your piece. As I said earlier, you might have things made out of plastic or some made out of metal, and after adding gesso it's a much better surface for you to add colors. But that doesn't mean you have to paint everything. Some of your elements could be unpainted if they make a nice focal point, or it's something you just don't want to cover in paint, that's fine. But at least for part of your assemblage, please use either black or white gesso or black or white paint. And now on to the fourth element, and that would be to create a focal point. Something that draws your viewers' attention, something that is a bit more prominent than the rest of your layout. Let's say you have a substrate here and you can simply add a photo or an image from a magazine anywhere you like. You could prop it up a little bit to make it more prominent. Now with photos or images, I usually add them at the very end so they don't get a bunch of paint on it. But you could also put them in a frame if you have a frame, a little picture frame. Or you could put something else in a frame. You could use it with the glass or without the glass, as you like. Or maybe something much more simple, like a little bottle like this, or maybe you have a mirror. You do not have to frame it, you don't have to prop it up. They work either way. Now you could either leave them just the way they are, or you could paint them with the rest of your things. The main idea is that the focal point stands out a bit from the rest. Alright, I think these were all the details and explanations that you may need to do this challenge. There will be a list of all the elements at the end of this video. You will also find it again below in my description box. Now down below there will also be a link to my intro video of the 4-core challenge in case you are new to this art project. Now it's all very simple. You create your piece, in this case an assemblage, you take a photo, send it to my email during the month of April, and I will then combine all those photos in my next 4-core video, and there we then can admire each other's creation. Now, if you are in need of ideas or inspiration for your assemblage, or how to get started, or how to put it together, there are wonderful videos all over YouTube. My channel too has a playlist called assemblages. There are simple ones and more involved assemblages, so if you need some extra ideas, take a look. So before I go, I want to send best wishes to all of you. I hope you're all healthy and you will stay that way. Stay positive, stay at home, and maybe, just maybe, this challenge will help inspire you, get your mind off the more serious things, and just give you a variety in your days. I'm always available on my email if any of you want to chat or just want somebody to listen. I'm there. I'm happy to hear from all of you. So that's all I had for today. Let's stay creative and have some fun with this challenge, making some cool assemblages. I hope to get to see you really soon again. Until then, bye bye for now.